Get ready, Lions fans. News that could turn the tide in Detroit is about to break. As a true lion roaring at the heart of Motown, you need to be prepared for what's coming. If your passion for the Lions runs as deep as ours, don't hesitate to smash that like button right now. Let's dive into the stories that are shaking the world of our beloved team. Imagine a player who's not just a team member, but a true warrior on the field. We're about to unveil a drama that's simmering behind the scenes with the Lions, something that could change the course of our season. Every step, every play matters, and it's time to uncover what's really going on. When safety C.J. Gardner-Johnson was not kept by the Philadelphia Eagles, Detroit Lions fans made a lot of noise to bring the talented player to Motown. He signed a one-year contract to play in Aaron Glenn's defensive system and quickly became one of the most popular players on defense. Despite spending most of the 2023 season on the injured reserve list, Gardner-Johnson worked hard to come back and help the team in the playoff fight. Now, with Detroit preparing for its first playoff appearance in several years, Gardner-Johnson is one of the few veteran leaders with experience and postseason success. More focus. This is a different season. It doesn't matter how many records you broke. That goes for both teams, teammates, and opponents. It doesn't matter what you did last week, said Gardner-Johnson. Some here have no stats in the playoffs. Think about what's more important, stats or advancing to the next round, matchups or advancing. As a playoff veteran, I'm saying it won't be easy. The environment is different. The air is heavier. The fans are louder. It's win or go home. The front office hired Gardner-Johnson not just to participate in a playoff game, but to win. They brought me here to win the Super Bowl, Gardner-Johnson said about the game against the Rams. It wasn't just to make the playoffs. His personal goals are important, as he doesn't have a long-term contract beyond 2023, but the team's goals are more significant to the former Eagles safety. I'm trying to win championships. I'm trying to hang 2 more banners, screw interceptions. I already have many of them. I want more. One playoff game can mean a lot for an organization that simply hasn't won many important games in the postseason. Facing one of the hottest teams in the NFL will be a test for Dan Campbell's young roster. We'll find out on Sunday if we're one and done or one and continue. This is the week to find out who the Lions are. If we get eliminated, it shows who we are. If we continue, it also shows. We're ready to play, but we'll find out on Sunday at 8 p.m., said Gardner-Johnson. A big theme this week was the return of former Lions starting quarterback Matthew Stafford. Gardner-Johnson, aware of the noise around Stafford's 35-year-old return to Ford Field, downplayed his return. I have nothing personal against him, other than being a good quarterback. I've played against him in matchups, said Gardner-Johnson. But this is one of those games where you guys are praising him just for doing what he could for Detroit. I'm not jealous, but it is what it is. While many reminisce about Stafford's 12-year run in Motown, Gardner-Johnson has a different view. There's no tough situation. Things happen for a reason. It's a business. You get traded, I got traded, he explained. Both are doing well, so it benefited both, right? The matchups I had growing up with Breeze and Brady, think about that. These guys are still going to play football. You don't talk about these guys until they face each other. At other times, this matchup isn't so glorified. So let's not get off a playoff game before we get into a matchup. But that's not all. We have more news that's rocking the foundations of the Lions, changes that could redefine our team's future. As a true fan, you know that every decision, every backstage move can mean the difference between glory and defeat. Let's unravel these impactful changes together. Detroit Lions head coach Dan Campbell might be looking for 2 new coordinators next season. Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn, the current coordinators, are being seen as strong candidates to become NFL head coaches, possibly as soon as the 2024 season. It's a sign of respect when other teams want to hire members from a winning team, and it seems that Dan Campbell's coaching tree might soon influence other franchises. Several teams are asking to talk with both coordinators about opportunities to lead their own teams. Johnson, who hasn't revealed much about his future as a coach, said that Campbell is one of the best leaders he's ever worked with in any sport. Look, he's the best leader I've ever been around, I think, in any sport I've been involved in. It's really impressive what he's managed to do, Johnson said. He's authentic, demanding, and results-driven. But his way of delivering a message and how and when to say things is really unique and special. I think it's hard to replicate, to be honest with you. More than anything, it's about being comfortable in your own skin and trusting and empowering those around you, Johnson continued. He's created an environment here for us coordinators, position coaches, and players where we feel very comfortable, and it helps us to be the best we can be at our jobs. Glenn noted that a coach sharing the same vision as the general manager makes a difference for the coaching staff and players. In the beginning, many critics questioned and even criticized the Lions for pairing Campbell with general manager Brad Holmes, who had no prior working relationship. Both were hired by the Lions within a week of each other and began the team's latest rebuilding effort. The most important thing, I think, is collaboration with the GM and the owner, Glenn expressed before Thursday's practice, and making sure that this collective vision is the same. Once that's intact and all three are saying the same thing, it spreads to the staff, to the players. And man, they just keep sharing the same vision over and over again. And when you talk about culture, culture is about people. Bring in the right people, and you'll have the right culture. That concludes another electrifying session of Lions News. Remember, a team's strength comes from its fans. If you felt the Lions roar within you, show your support by leaving a like and subscribing for more explosive updates. Our team, our passion, our fight continues. Until next time, with our hearts pounding strongly for the Lions' colors,